Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome to our introduction video of this series called Grow that we'll be doing. We'll be hopefully doing 1 to 2 videos a week on how we will be bulking up this off season and how we kind of stay goal driven and just grow not only inside the gym but outside the gym as well, in terms of just being a better person or living a healthier lifestyle. So I want to share that with y'all and show you how we do it. I've kind of taken fitness and used those kind of principles that I learned and put them into my daily life. We'll be hitting the gym later and we'll be doing a hypertrophy day, which will probably hit some shoulders, back, and arms. Thank you for watching this video, and if you like it, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, because this series we're going to try to make it awesome. So it's been a couple hours since I last spoke to you guys, and I chefed up a pre-workout meal. We got 2 pieces of Farmhouse oatmeal bread, 2 slices of cheese, 2 slices of bacon, and 2 eggs. So that's 1 slice of bacon, 1 egg, and 1 slice of cheese, 1 piece of toast per open face Sango. And we're gonna have that with a little bit of mark and some water, because we always drink water. Just finished that meal and going to finish off and rip a shot of this ACV right here, because YOLO. Cheers. Oh. Just got here to the gym and going to meet up with Matt. It's kind of rainy out. Yeah, it's not bad though. It's been really hot, so this is actually nice. We probably need it. So grow that green grass. Workout World, Waltham.
Yes.
Yeah, how's it going?
Hi, man.
Say hi to YouTube.
Hey.
Hey, in the gym now. Getting our heart rate elevated. Walking on this treadmill here, this walk machine, and incline of 15, speed of 3.
2.9.
Oh, 2.9.
Liar.
Check it. Exercise 1 of the day is a back movement. We're doing a close grip, pull down, pulling high, bringing it low, squeezing the back. Ooh, excuse me. When you do this exercise, make sure to pull with your elbows and squeeze your back together, and you don't want to be pulling with your biceps. Lead with your elbows and feel the contraction throughout your back. The back movements are kind of tricky sometimes to isolate it or just establish that mind to muscle connection that people talk about, which essentially your level of, like, I don't know how to describe it, how in tune you are with doing or using a certain muscle group, like really contracting the muscle. Sometimes people have a hard time targeting muscles such like as the rear delts or something. It's like, oh, I can't get like a good pump in my rear delts because it's just, there's a long kinetic chain in terms of like where you're holding the weight and what muscle is being used. So you have loss of power in your wrist, your elbow, and your shoulder. So your back, there's a big kinetic chain, so sometimes people have difficulty isolating that muscle group and other muscles take over. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Going to come at you with a commentary here for the next few exercises. Right here is a easy curl skull crusher.
this is a fantastic exercise to get a good stretch in the triceps as well as pack on the size, because if you want big arms, you gotta hammer out them triceps. If you look at it here, you can see that my elbow is in a fixed position. The weight is being driven up by the contraction of the triceps solely, and you want to make sure that you're slow and controlled. Don't use too much weight on this, but go heavy enough that you will be able to really break the muscle down. And don't forget, heaviness is all relative. It's just resistance. So after completing those 4 rounds of skull crushers, we moved on to a giant set here, and the giant set is just doing 3 sets back to back to back with no rest in between them, besides obviously walking over to the other machine. And then after you complete it, you rest for about 2 minutes or so. First exercise here is a reverse tricep extension using the cable machine, and this is a great exercise to use after hammering the muscle hard with heavy weight. As we do with the skull crushers, this will force a bunch of blood in there and force it to grow. The next thing we moved on to was a bicep curl. The bicep curl was done on the rope, and I love this variation. This variation is great because you get to play with it and you can make it what you want it based on of how much supination you do or the rotation of your palms upward. So you start normally in a hammer grip. You have your hands next to each other, but as you pull the rope upwards, you're going to rotate your wrists and try to bring your palms up. This is really going to get a good contraction and pump right in the biceps. This is a great exercise. I highly recommend it. Following that, we did cable rows. The cable rows were done with a neutral grip bar, which is one of my favorites because using a lat pull down bar or maybe the smaller V bar, the range of motion is compromised. In my opinion, I don't like it as much. I think this is great. You can get a really good stretch here and really squeeze your back. Like we said earlier in the video, you're going to be pulling with your elbows and getting a nice strong contraction at the top of the motion, holding it for a second or two. Return it right back to the starting position from which you began, controlling the weight the entire time. When you get down to the bottom portion of the motion, you can let the weight pull you and get a nice stretch in your back. Next thing we moved on to was a preacher curl. The preacher curl is a good movement for putting on size on them sticks that you want to call arms. With this specific preacher curl here, we're using an easy curl bar and we're loading it with plates. The idea of a preacher curl is to be using your biceps while the tricep is resting upon some sort of padding. This way you minimize the momentum that can be used during the curl, because you see a lot of people throwing the weight around, throwing their lower back into it, and just not isolating the bicep, and this does a really good job of doing just that. Strictly isolation, controlling the weight on the way up and the way down. A great little variation of this exercise is to do solely the negatives, and with that you can have your partner help you get the weight up and then do maybe a 3 to 4 count, slowly lowering the weight down, and that is really going to tear up the muscle. Just like the concentric part of the motion where the muscle is contracting, shortening, the eccentric or the elongation of it is just as important. So don't write it off. Control the weight on both parts of the motion because they're both beneficial. With the easy curl bar here, as shown, Matt is gripping it on the inside because you can put your hands in 2 different positions. When you put your hands in the position that Matt has them in here, you are targeting the inner part of your bicep, the peak. Next movement, back row with a dumbbell. When you start this movement, you're going to want to make sure that you are bound or holding yourself up to something that is pretty sturdy, depending on how much weight you're using, because you are going to be thrown off balance by having this just on one side. When doing this exercise, make sure you're getting a nice stretch and pulling with your elbow. You can see how it's led with the elbow on here if you just watch Matt do this exercise. So that is going to conclude the commentary, guys. Thank you for listening to me speak. I know I'm not that great of a speaker, so let me know how bad it was in the comment section. Thank you.
Finished the workout. wrap that shit up real quick. I don't know why, but I just am not a huge fan of the bent over dumbbell row. I think it's just because it's so challenging. But you know what? Hearing myself say that out loud, now I'm gonna try to make it one of my stronger movements, because that's what you should do when you're trying to grow. Yep.
Yeah.
It's raining.
It's sprinkling for
Yep.
sure.
Water coming out the sky.
Keep us hydrated.
Yeah. Wow, nice hat. Pretty cool. So this is where we part ways.
This is where we part ways.
See ya.
Until next time.
Bye. Always gotta buckle up for safety. Dang. After such a killer workout, you really work up quite the appetite. I'm kind of hungry. Oh! So, got myself a little post-workout meal for the gains. 4-piece Nuggy Nug. Where's my finger? There it is. Medium fry and a double cheeseburger. I don't mind eating or going for the dirty bulk, in contrast to what people always talk about, the lean bulk, where they're trying to minimize fat gain. And it's just like, I want to pack on as much muscle as possible. And when you go about trying to do like a lean gain, you're putting on a little bit of muscle and you're maintaining like a lower body fat. But if you were to bump up your calories a little bit more, you'd be putting on a little more muscle. Yeah, and the more fat's going to come with it, and that's just a fact of the matter. So to maximize the muscle, I want to be in a pretty good surplus. And I know it's like diminishing returns. Like, it's not like if I eat in a surplus of 5,000 calories, I'm not putting on 5,000 calories worth of muscle. It's like after you go 500 to like 750 calories over your maintenance level in a caloric surplus, that's where you're going to be putting on muscle. Anything more than that is going to be put on as fat. But I don't mind that. My face gets blown up when I'm bigger, and it makes for a good cut, so it's all good, and I don't mind it because these fries are so dank. McDonald's has the best French fries, hands down. I was gonna say, look how cute this little guy is. A 4-pack of nuggies. Look at the sauce they got too. This sriracha mac sauce. What's up, guys? Just got back. Gonna sit down on the computer and get some work done. Recheck out some of this footage for today, because this will be episode number 1 of Grow. So super excited for this series, because we're gonna try to go into some detail of real substance and content, and that we think is important. Not that kind of like generic nonsense that everyone spews, but kind of things that we specifically use to help us grow on this bulk. How can you improve yourself, and how to reach your goals. So that's going to conclude this video. Thank you for watching episode 1 of Grow, the intro. I want to ask you guys to thumbs the video up if you liked it. The thumbs up thing is on the right hand side beneath the video. So just click that and then go over to the other side and subscribe. I'll also have something right here. So thank you guys for watching, and have a good one. See you in the next video, episode 2.